Hello, hi, this is Bhavna, and you're watching India Today. Well, hello, hi, Edgar. Welcome to India Today. How are you?
I'm good. Right, let me just finish eating a second. Sorry.
I really loved watching The Running Man when I want to know from you because you're not just the director, but also you've co-written and you've done the screenplay, wearing so many hats. What was the most challenging part, though, is you had to pick one out of all three roles that you have played? Yeah.
Well, I guess, obviously directing covers so much, but mounting the production and just directing it's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of locations. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of cast. So it's an incredibly complicated film. So that was definitely the toughest thing. I mean, the writing with Michael Bacall was challenging but fun. But then when you've written something that's ambitious, you think, wow, okay, now we have to make it.
Does it help? Because the film in itself is very difficult, but does it help when you have talented actors like Glenn and then E-Pace and the ensemble in itself? Does it help when you have actors you can rely on? Does it make your job a bit easier?
Absolutely, and also Glenn is in every scene of the movie, and so he's working as hard as I am, and so having a partner in this on a complicated, challenging production is really important, and he was amazing.
But while I was watching, there are so many scenes which really does seem like, oh my god, how did Edgar manage to do that? But I want to know from you, were there moments or is there a scene in particular which you personally thought was very difficult to mount and you did not know how this is eventually going to turn out, but when you saw it and you were like, damn, what I stuck to my conviction?
Well, there's lots of complicated scenes in the movie. I mean, one that sticks out is what we call the YVA sequence, which is where Glenn is in a sort of halfway house and realizes that the hunters are all around him, about to kill him, and his escape from there. It's a really complicated scene because there's like interior sets, there's exterior sets, there's bits on location, there's like fire, there's water. There's abseiling, there's breaking glass, and it was like an incredibly complicated sequence.
Right. While watching, another thing that kept crossing my mind was between Hunter and being the runner. I don't know, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if you were in that position in real life, and if you had to choose between being the hunter or being the runner, what would you choose and why?
I don't want to kill anybody, so I want to be one of the runners.
You would be there. Okay, let's see how far you can run then to save yourself.
Not very. I think I would die very quickly on this game show, but that's okay.
Again, I have to say that our fans in India have always loved your films, everything that you directed and been a part of. But again, have you watched anything from India? And we would also like to know if you have any plans to perhaps visit us anytime soon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't see as much Indian cinema as I'd like to, but the ones that I have seen, I've really enjoyed. Like a lot of the rest of the world, I really enjoyed RRR when it came out and had an absolute blast watching that at the cinema. And I saw that there was something else coming out over here soon. I mean, it's and then also in terms of like classic older Indian cinema, I love Satyajit Ray's films. The Apu trilogy and the Green Ray, and a big fan of that. Oh, I'd love that. I've never been. It's actually a country that I've never been to and have always wanted to.
That's all the time I have, Edgar. But thank you so much for your time and all the very best. Hi, how are you? This is Bhavna from India Today.
I'm very good. How are you? Thanks for speaking with me.
I'm great, thank you.
Firstly, a huge welcome. I have to say that I'm really eager for everyone to watch The Running Man. But before we get there, I really want to ask you, because you've been part of several genres across the board, right? The superhero genre or the survival thriller now with The Running Man. I want to know from you, what's that one thing that you were not prepared for before you went on set when it comes to this production and this genre? And when you got there and you were really surprised and perhaps eventually adapted to that.
I mean, the reason to do a film for me is to work with the director. And Edgar Wright is someone I've been a huge fan of for years. I love his movies. And so when he called me and asked me to be a part of this, I jumped at the chance. Even after he told me I would be in a mask the whole time. So I actually thought that was one of the fun things about the character, because it gave me, just a different kind of challenge to approach the character with, a riddle to solve. Like, how am I going to make the character clear? Like, what choices am I going to make physically to justify that choice of a mask? And we had a really good time working with him to find, McKone's like relaxed, nonchalance. He's very unbothered by all of the violence that he's doing for the American public, creating these spectacular murders. And I thought it was fun. I thought there was a sense of humor to it. And he's just like, he's not only a badass, he's playing the part of a badass, which I think they're two different things, you know what I mean? Like, deadly people don't show you their gun, that's, right? Like, that's like
it's more like a facade, I feel, like convincing yourself that you're bad, because you have to live up to that image. So I think there's a contrast there, which I think is amazing, because it's only in your head.
Yeah, but the show is rigged. Like, they're gonna die. The runners are gonna die. Like, they're portrayed as bad people to the American public, and McKone is portrayed as a good guy who's hunting down the bad guys. And that is at odds with the reality that you experience with Ben Richards in this story. And that's one of I think the really interesting things about the film, is that you follow him in reality, and then you see the weird, distorted, surreality of the Running Man reality TV show, game show, and that's
wow, yeah.
And the
contrast in itself is amazing,
yeah. So like, you're watching Ben Richards in reality, and he's, the protagonist of that story, but the protagonist of the Running Man TV show, as presented by the network, is McKone and the Hunters. So I find that like the front he's putting up entertaining and grotesque.
Yeah, but if you had a choice as Lee to choose between being a runner or a hunter in real life, let's hope the situation never comes to that ever, but if it does, what would you choose?
Oh my gosh, what an impossible... You're going to have to answer this question too.
No, I don't think I can make any choice there, because I would rather be shot, I guess. I don't know. It's a difficult, there's a difficult answer. This is a situation where there's no one answer, I guess.
I know, I would think that too, but then I also don't want to die. So, like, what are you going to do? Like, I don't want to be... The runners always die. So it's like, but you don't want to kill people. This is the situation that McKone finds himself in, right? He doesn't want to do what he's doing, but he has no choice, right?
Oh my God, okay.
Well, on that note, thank you so much. That's all the time I have, but thank you so much for your time.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.